Hello, everyone. This is Janice Johnson, your ministry marketing mentor, and I want to welcome you to today's ministry marketing moment. Today, I want to discuss with you a pretty intriguing topic, one that you may think doesn't have anything to do with marketing, but it has everything to do with marketing. Today, I want to talk to you about having a private conversation in a public place or using a public platform. I'm sure if you're like me, you've probably been a victim of someone having a private conversation or private expression in a public place. And if we really think about that encounter, it made us feel probably uncomfortable or really uneasy. You know, we do this to people often with our marketing unintentionally. Let me talk to you about what I mean. If you remember, we discussed in one of the earlier videos that expansion occurs in three phases. You know, you have the encounter that leads to the experience, which ultimately leads to the transformation. Well, just like expansion occurs in three phases, the first phase of expansion, the encounter, also has three phases, or three primary things that we should do when we're having an encounter with someone else. Those three things are, we should engage them, which is the process of really just establishing some sort of connection. We should also entertain them. Now, it's not necessarily making them laugh, ha ha ha, but it's actually causing a pleasing distraction. And then the last thing is we should also educate them. Now, here's where we tend to get a little bit confused with this part of the expanding your reach process. We're educating our audience not on what's important to us, but what's important to them. This education process is the process of sharing with them how our gift, our blessing, the thing that the Lord has placed inside of us is going to be of benefit to them. Now, a lot of times we forget about that and we take public platforms and we just make sure that we do all that we can to talk about things that are really private conversations or private matters. For example, I have a really dear friend and client who is celebrating 30 years of pastoral ministry. It's such a great thing. I mean, really, for someone to make it to that level of ministry and service is really excellent and something to be commended. And we were talking about what we should do to really market that and get the message out. And we were discussing, you know, some of the normal traditional ways, television, postcards, radio, and all that sorts of thing. And I, you know, very gently but honestly had to remind them that while 30 years of ministry is very exciting and it's a huge accomplishment, it's not of relevance to the crowd. See, every message that you put out in your marketing speaks to either your core or your crowd. Now, the people who know him, the people who love him, the people who trust him, the people who have been connected with him over time, they are really excited about those 30 years. But those of us who've never been exposed to him, who've never encountered his ministry or experienced the blessing of God through him, that invitation or that announcement is really noise to us. It's not really important to us. And it's not because it's not important, but we don't know him. So I want to challenge you in your everyday efforts that you make sure that those things that are private to you, those things that are important to your members, your clients, and your current customers, make sure that those things are spoken on a private platform. A lot of times we waste a lot of our money and a lot of our resources making private announcements in a public place, and then we wonder why we don't see the return on our investment. So remember, you have a message that you send to your core, and then you have a message that you send to your crowd. Okay, this is Janice Johnson, your ministry marketing mentor. I want to thank you so much for joining me for today's ministry marketing moment. And remember, expanding your reach is not optional, it's mandatory. Failure to do so is not modest, but it's selfish. Because when you fail to expand, you deny others the opportunity to experience God through you. Thank you and be blessed.